Hey guys, in this video I'll be telling you about Remote Method Invocation, that is RMI. We'll be covering the concepts of what is RMI, how RMI works, what all you need for RMI. Later on we'll be coding in Java for RMI, wherein we'll be having a database on MySql. So let's get started. So here you can see there are two machines, machine A and machine B, wherein machine A is the client and machine B is server. So basically in RMI what happens is the client invokes a remote object that is running on server. This is how it works in distributed computing. So for communication between client and server, there are two objects, that is stub and skeleton. So stub is kind of a gateway that is situated at client side, and skeleton is an object that is situated on the server side. So these both communicate over the internet. If you want to know more about in detail about what is stub and skeleton, you can visit this site, that is javapoint.com/rmi. Here you will get all the information about RMI, what is stub, what is skeleton, how it works, and what all is required for RMI working. Now, while coding for RMI, we will be having, say, four files. One is interface file, the other is the implementation of this interface file, then the client file, and a server file. Okay, so I'll tell you the role of each of the file. The interface file will contain all the functions that are to be implemented or which the client will be invoking. The implementation file will have all the implementation of the set functions in the interface file. The client file, here you can select your options, whether you want to add student, retrieve a record, display the student, or whatever. Then this is a server that will it will bind the remote object to some new names, and it will start the RMI. Now I'll just tell you relate with the each and every function that is implemented, and how it is related with implement client file. So over here when we get started, so this is all declaration. Then we proceed with creating defining a stub. This is the port number which will be using as 5000. Then this is a buffer reader, stcnt stub.count record. This will count the number of records that are currently in the database. Later on, here case 1, so adding student, so it will take the roll number, name, subject 1 2 3, and then it will pass to stub.addStudent, that is a function. Here it's defined as void add student. It will take all the parameters. Now when the client will add all these entries like roll number, name, sub1, sub2, sub3, these all details will go from client to the server side, wherein all these details will be stored onto a database. So here you can see the implementation of it. Just go down, void add student. So this is a connector com.mysql.jdbc.driver. This is the connection string, wherein we are using for MySql port number is 3306. The database is RMI. Username is root and password is null. So here you can see those parameters: root, name, sub1, sub2, sub3. So here we will execute update, insert the values as roll number, name, sub1, sub2, sub3. Now commit is required wherever there is an update command. Okay, next. Whenever you add a student, student counter increments by 1. Next is retrieval of a record. So here we will be taking input as roll number. So result is equal to stub dot select student roll number. So here you can see in interface file, select student. Now string we have used here because it will be returning a string implementation of it. So here we are executing the query as select star from student, where roll number is equal to roll number, as we have taken as its parameter. Now these three lines will remain same. These four lines will remain same in each and every function as it is required to establish connection. Okay, and this will be the query part. Later on, retrieval or whatever we have got from the query, we will extract it. So if rs.next, that is it has one record, so here we are using only if it has many records we'll be using while. So rs.next will basically rs has got all those rows. So if rs.next, that means if there is a row in rs.next, then str0, so we have took over here say 5 strings. So str0 will contain the roll number, str1 will have name, str2 sub1, str3 sub2, str4 sub3, and over here we will just return it as string. On the client side, here we get the result, that is str. Now we have to say print it on the screen. So system.out.println roll number. So there are, as we said, that there are 5 strings. So result 0, result 1, result 2, result 3, result 4. So this is how the record is retrieved. Same as for displaying all the students. So here, as I told you, so here in interface file we are using array of strings. That's why two square brackets. Now here we'll see the implementation of all the students. The query is same, is just that the where clause is missing. If you see here that there was a where clause for retrieval of a record of one single student. Now here we are retrieving records of all the students in the database. So you can see over here that there is no where clause. Now I will be, as I said, that when there are many records in rs, that is result set, so we will be using while. So the iteration will go on. So suppose there are 5 rows, then while rs dot next, so first row, second row, third row, and then fourth row, and then fifth row. This way it will proceed. So I will be storing it in array of strings. Here you have to define it like this. Okay, then str j is equal to j comma 0 integer roll number name sub1 sub2 sub3. Now here record j added, so you can do this for debugging purpose if you want to see on the server side whether the rows are getting added onto the database or not. Similar implementation, just that over there we were using just 5 strings. Over here we are using array of strings. So again we will return it. On the client side we will iterate it and then just print it out in the similar manner. Now the fourth case is the update option. So here we will be taking the roll number name sub1 sub2 sub3 and stub dot update student. On the implementation side, as I said, the 4 lines will be same, and then just the update command, that is update student, set name is equal to name, roll sub1 sub2 sub3, where roll number is equal to roll number. Alright, next is the similar way we will be executing the delete option. Over here you can see we are taking input as roll number, then roll number, the stub the delete student roll number, we are passing it over here, and delete from student where roll number is equal to roll number. Now here when we delete a student, so student counter minus minus. Alright, here we are done with the implementation of the all the functions that are required by the client side. Alright, this is all done. Now what the major thing over here is, as we have written the queries, so for example if you see, you can do it either way. First you can create the database and then you can do the coding part, or if you are doing the coding part first like I did it over here, then create the database accordingly. For example, if I have said earlier that I have database name as RMI, so create your database as RMI and then create a student table which has column as roll number, name, sub1, sub2 and sub3. Now I'll be telling you about the MySql part.